For those of you who carry a firearm, a loaded gun on your person for personal self-defense, this message is for you. Carrying a loaded firearm, first of all, I hope and pray that you're carrying it legally, lawfully, if you will. With that said, if you are going to carry and you are in a position or a state that allows you to open carry, be very careful. It is no child's game to carry a firearm. It takes grave responsibility on the partaker, if you will. You must understand, you must comprehend, and you must understand the possible ramifications if you have to deal with an encounter with another person and you have to utilize your weapon. Hopefully it doesn't happen, that you will not have to discharge your weapon. You won't have to shoot another individual, but it does happen. But outside of that, just generally speaking, if you're carrying a firearm, open carry, where it can be seen, it's exposed, and the public can see it, make sure that you have a holster that is safe and secure and it holds your weapon tight or snugly in place. And be always consciously aware of what you have on your person and the environment. It is called situational awareness, if you will. I saw a couple videos that someone's convenience store camera caught on video where there was a customer in the store. This was more than one video, and this was not something made up. This actually did happen. And the customer had his weapon in his pocket, and it was protruding, no holster, and there was another person standing behind him, another man behind him. This was a male individual carrying the gun in his pocket. The person behind them walked up behind them and pulled the gun out of their pocket. And then the guy turned around and said, give that back to me, and so forth. And the guy told him to get away from him. And so he began to walk out of the store. And then that individual went outside, the one who originally possessed the pistol, if you will, and you heard some gunshots. That's one situation. And I saw a similar video where a guy had his weapon in his pocket, or waistband, if you will, and no holster again. It was exposed, and another individual pulled it out and quickly left the scene. What could you do? What would you do? First of all, again, if you are allowed to carry open carry, have a holster, as I said earlier, a secure, authorized type holster that does not make it that easy for someone to take your weapon from you. And the best case scenario is always going to be concealed, where the general public cannot see your weapon. Now, there are some, if you do carry open, some individuals that get into their feelings and they feel insecure. They want to call the police on the person just because they see a weapon exposed in an open carry state. Something's wrong with that person's and their feelings. They need to just simply get over it. Because if you're in a state where you can carry open, you can carry open. It's that simple. It may not be common in your neighborhood or your area for most people to see you carrying a weapon, even for the police to see you carrying a weapon exposed, especially if you're wearing blue jeans or shorts or what have you. And it doesn't seem like you're a law enforcement individual, as it were. They might want to question you if they're law enforcement and so forth, but just beware of the potentiality of what could happen if you're going to carry open, out in the open. Now, getting back to the first scenario or situation where a person has their weapon in their pocket, their waistband, Even if you had it in a holster and someone snatched it out of the holster or took it from you, period, you should have, again, as I forestated, situational awareness. You need to learn self-defense. Because there are some people who are delusional. They think just because they purchase a firearm, it makes them protected and invincible to some degree. But they never take into consideration, what if someone saw my weapon by happenstance and just grabbed my weapon? Could I respond in time to stop them from taking that weapon from me? What would I do? Or would I just fall victim to that person? Possibly. And that could be a fatality there, you know? So you need to not only be armed with a firearm, you need to have some fundamental, strong self-defense foundation. You should, if you're going to carry a firearm. It's that simple, because this could happen to you. Now again, I go back to what I said or stated previously. You should have a holster. But if peradventure someone can get that gun out of that holster that you have by taking advantage of you in some sort of way, you should be so responsive where you stop that individual and retrieve or stop them from taking your weapon altogether. That's just my words of wisdom to you if you're going to carry a firearm. Also understand that if, God forbid, you had to use your firearm, people who have a license to carry, or you have an open carry state, or you don't need a license to carry concealed in your particular state, beware that using your firearm carries with it a great burden. You have to go to court now. You have to deal with the law now, and that could be a long process, and it can be a very stressful process if you have to use your firearm. So you may want to get insurance. There are some organizations in existence. I'm going to give you one of them that's here. It is called USCCA. I forget what the nomenclature is as far as the way it's spelled out, but just look it up. USCCA, for those individuals that carry and want to be protected just in the event that you have to go to court. This organization has lawyers, it has financial assistance and so forth if you have to defend yourself in the court, just in case you have to use your weapon. That was it, and that was all. I just wanted to share that with you because I care. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. So long.